Okay, this reading is for Taurus, first week of June. I have already shuffled these extensively. Just do it one more time. I'm going to use two decks. This one, the vice versa tarot, is for some clarification as we go along. Okay. Okay. Okay, so it looks like the lingering energy from the past weeks is that of feeling trapped. You're probably overwhelmed with either anxiety, depression, or feeling like there is no way out. And I'm just talking about the energy overall. There are some great things happening here as well. But it looks like there is probably an abundance of things going on that you are just feeling overwhelmed and choosing not to make a decision. You don't have to make a decision. You either have to accept that this is happening and embrace it. These could be great things, or it could be more than one lover, more than one job, or maybe a burden at home, something that is going on during this time of uncertainties, right, that we're going through. Or perhaps you put yourself in that situation that you don't want to make a decision because it's just so much, you just can't take it. You are handling it all in front of everybody's eyes, but internally you are having a very difficult time. It does look like the worst has already passed, but you are now feeling beat and you are feeling, okay, I need to get up now. I need to decide what I'm going to do. You have probably, you've had a lot of advice from family. You've had a lot of friends trying to help you with this or that, which is great. But ultimately, you need to focus on yourself, and maybe put yourself in some sort of isolation. And I'm not talking about pandemic isolation. I'm talking more about the emotional isolation. It's good to have a lot of people helping you out emotionally and being there for you when you need to talk, but it's better and it's imperative actually that you take time for yourself and be by yourself and reflect on these things by yourself. There is a component of a matter of, it's either got to do with your job, something that happened in the past and you are still going through now. I don't know if you lost your job because of the pandemic, or you are helping someone that lost their job and that has become overwhelming for you. It is clearly showing here that you do need to decide which path you're going to go. And you have to be a little bit more frugal on how you help others, be that in terms of financially and emotionally, because money is energy, right? So you you need to reserve that energy for yourself. It looks like you're doing so much for so many people and you are handling it, but again, on the inside, it's really crushing you. You maybe that fact that has to do um, with your job, or um, maybe an ex-partner, that you have a responsibility still tied to that situation. It's giving you a lot of burden, but it is a moment for you to reconcile with yourself and be more frugal and just be with yourself. This card is representing essentially that, you know, if you look at yourself in the mirror, like, what do you see? How do you feel? You know, do you love that person that you are seeing? It looks like you do have to spend that time by yourself and be in love with that person again. And remember, your resources are your resources to take care of you first, and then you can take care of everybody. You know, you have to ask yourself, is there a way I can redesign the circumstances here to make that happen? And the Magician card, which this position is basically saying what the energy will linger through the week for next week, is a beautiful card because it's basically saying, yes, you have all the tools you need to design a new circumstance and design a new outcome. What do you really want, you know? The main message I feel here is you need to take care of yourself first before you can take care of someone else. I want to get a couple more cards here. It is so tricky because during this time, everyone needs help, right? But we forget sometimes that we need to take care of ourselves first. Yeah, it's basically asking you like to get back to meditation if you were meditating before, or if you have a religion that you adhere to. What can help you? What can help bring you to that state of, you know, I accept what is and I'm going to be better for it, you know, and how can I be better? And the first step is really taking care of yourself. And it's a moment of paying attention to everything you do. Like meditation is a practice, right? You have to sit down, you have to be aware of your thoughts, you have to be aware of what your mind is saying, right, to you. Um, you do need that moment of reconnection with your spiritual self, because that is the only way that we can help someone else. That is the only way that we can find that place in life where everything is balanced, where everything is good, finances, my independency. Um, it's really that moment of taking action, and you have been neglecting it. It's not your fault, it's just a reaction to the circumstance. But just pay attention to that word reaction, right? It means you're not in control, you're just reacting. So what can you do? How can you interpret the situation differently, to have a different outcome? Let's just get one more card here. It's something you need to let go, and what I feel like you're needing to let go is letting go of yourself. I feel like you've been neglecting yourself. Like, this is what all these cards are saying, that you have been giving excuses to yourself, which is not healthy, right? That you cannot do it, but you can. You know, it's that mental paralysis that sometimes we put ourselves in. We get overwhelmed with our responsibilities and burdens, and we start blaming circumstances. Um, but we forget that we can change a circumstance. We can't redesign um, a new path. And it's only when we get in touch with ourselves, our feelings, that we are able to see different paths, you know. The exercise of looking at yourself in the mirror, I think it's great because you're literally like looking at yourself and like, do I love this person? It's so hard to do. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're just going through such a rough patch that it's so hard to say I love you to ourselves. And you need that. You need to reconnect with yourself. And then you can take action. But this week it's probably super heightened, these feelings. But you need to give yourself love. Let go of the situation. Really face yourself and all the monsters that were, talking to you over these few days. You can silence them. And if there are situations or if there is anything that is out of your control, accept it. There is nothing you can do. Like if, when, like for example, this virus, right? There's nothing we can do except take care of ourselves and stay home. There's nothing you can do personally to change it. So we need to accept it and adapt. So if there is a situation that is causing you that burden that you can't change, accept it. And accept the consequences of it. And then work with the results of it. It's all in your hand. The power is all in your hand. And it's all circumstantial too. And these change, right? They fluctuate. So yeah, just remember that you can redesign. You have all the tools. You have the wisdom from the heavens and the earth. And you have that fire inside of you. You just need to find it inside of you. It's there. Like you just need to reconnect with it. Because at this moment you are feeling beaten and it's done. But it isn't. It's just a new beginning. It's a moment of rebirth. And with that, we'll end our reading for this week. I hope it resonated with some of you. I'd love to hear any feedback you might have. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week. Thank you for watching.